My name's Jake Marquetta, and I am a full-time day trader that has profited over $72,000 in 1 month of trading. It actually happened just these previous months ago in October of 2025. You see, a lot of traders portray this image that they just make all this money, then they get to go sit on a beach and they can buy whatever car they want, etc., when in fact it is just not the case. I'm here to tell you the truths about day trading and how difficult it can really be. Trading takes years. It is a process and a journey that does not come overnight. For years, I went through failure, I went through pain, I went through sadness, I went through loneliness, I went through doubt, no faith, no confidence, etc. You name it, I went through it as a person learning how to trade. Here are 5 lessons that I hold to today that I wish I would have known when I was first starting my trading journey. Not only have these lessons helped me become a full-time trader and make $70,000 in profits in a month, but I now run a live trading Discord where I help students get results like these, teach them their psychology, and help them every single day in my live trading Discord. This has been an absolute blessing of mine to be able to make profits like this for myself, but also share the knowledge with my students in my Discord. And I would share these 5 lessons with them any day of the week as I am doing with you here now. So buckle up, strap in, get your popcorn, get your waters, get your notebook, get your pencils, whatever you got to do, because let's get into these 5 lessons that I wish I would have known when I was a beginner trader. Lesson number 1 is that the market rewards discipline and not intelligence. You see, you can think you're the smartest person ever on the markets, that you've got all the tools, you've got all the brains, that nobody's going to outsmart you. Well, I promise the market will humble you. If you haven't figured out as a beginner trader yet, or if you're a beginner trader looking to get into trading, yes, the market will absolutely humble you, and there is no doubt about that. What I mean by the market rewards discipline, not intelligence, is that you have to develop discipline as a trader. You have to develop the discipline to sit on your hands every single day if you need to. You have to develop the discipline to continue to show up to the charts and work hard. You have to develop the discipline to continue to look for your rules and strategy only and not break those rules and strategy. You see, you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't have the discipline to sit on your hands on a bad market day, to sit on your hands on a day where there's a lot of red folder news, to not break your rules on a day-by-day basis, to not show up to the charts every single day, then you will not make it in trading. Okay, some of the smartest people in the world can do all the math equations and all the stuff in the world that they want, but if they don't have the discipline to say, these are my rules and my strategies, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow these rules and strategies every single time, and I'm not going to take a trade every single day if an A+ setup is not there, then you're cooked. Okay, it doesn't matter what you know or how smart you think you are. If you don't have the basic discipline within you to take days off when needed, to not force trades, to not go beyond your rules and your strategy, then you're not going to be a successful trader. Lesson number 2 is actually branching off of that first point. You only need one setup. You don't need to have 40 different strategies and 40 different confluences. You see, a lot of beginner traders get in their head that they need to have all these different ideas, they need to do all this technical analysis. One of the main mistakes that I made when I was first starting to trade is thinking that I needed to have all these strategies, I needed to do all this technical analysis. And it wasn't until I boiled it down to one simple, effective strategy that I was good at that I started seeing profits in the market. The beginner trader phase involves a lot of going on YouTube and searching up for as many strategies as you can and as many different things as you can. And you just get confused, you get tied up, you start to see all these different influencers showing you their strategy and their confluences, and it can be difficult to deal with, it can be hard to deal with. I promise you guys that that is not the way to go in trading. What you need to do is develop your own edge in the markets, okay? And maybe that is using somebody else's strategy. Maybe that is using one of your favorite influencer strategies, but you don't need to use 10 influencer strategies. You don't need to use 40 different confluences from 50 different influencers in this YouTube video, in this book. What you need to do is develop a system and an edge that works for you and a set of rules and a strategy, and you need to stick to that one strategy every single day. You need to say to yourself, I'm not taking a trade unless this occurs. I'm not exiting a trade unless this occurs. I'm not going to enter this trade unless this occurs. I'm going to avoid the markets if this is occurring, and you need to rinse and repeat that every single day. Lesson number 3 is a pretty common one, but it's size of the trade does not replace skill. Okay, this has to do with over leveraging. If you go in and try to full port your account and risk a bunch of money, the second you take a big loss, you are cooked. You will blow your account, you blow your funded account, whatever it may be. What wins trades in the market is a developed system and a skill and a proven data that works long-term as a trading strategy. You don't need to be going in with 10 contracts or all this money just so you can hit the big winner. That is such a recipe for disaster, and the amount of money and accounts I could have saved if I just would have had this indoctrinated in my head when I first started trading is just insane. I recommend to all of you that you use proper risk management. Develop a risk management system that works for you. You don't need to be over leveraging. You don't need to be taking big trades. A lot of you guys are just beginning to trade. You're failing at trading. Maybe you're looking for something to improve your trading, and start with not over leveraging or over risking or putting on such big size that if you take one loss, your account is cooked. You need to compound, you need to build, you need to take small trades, you need to develop a system. One thing that I will live by from now on that I'm a full-time trader is that if you just develop a system that works and a system that you can put into play every single day, the results will show. You continue to develop a system, you continue to develop a set of rules that you put into the market every single day, the results will show. You don't need to risk and over leverage huge amounts of money to try to make yourself feel or sound or look like a better trader. Develop a set of rules, develop a simple system, and the results will show as time goes on.
Lesson number 4 is a big one, and it is your emotions are your biggest expense. I cannot stress that one enough, so let me say it again. And let me say it for the dogs here too. Your emotions are your biggest expense. You will not find yourself losing more money than when your emotions are terrible. I don't care how good at trading you are, how well developed your system is, how much money you have saved up, how good you think you are. If your psychology and your emotions are terrible, you are going to lose. That is why in my Discord, I've developed a whole section called psychology. I will put it up on the screen so you can see now. And all we do is talk about psychology in there, how to improve psychology, how to develop better emotions on the market. Because I don't think you guys understand. I've been trading for four plus years now, and I have never seen somebody succeed in trading when their emotions are bad. What are some things that happen in trading when your emotions are bad? Well, let's start with over leveraging, over risking, over trading, not taking good trades, taking trades you know you shouldn't take, breaking your rules, closing winners early, letting losers run. There is so many awful things that can happen when your emotions are bad. Something that we practice in my Discord, in my live trading room every single day, is the term set and forget. You've probably heard it a lot, but it honestly helps a lot. And as cringy of a term as you may think it is seriously one of the better things that I have done for my trading career. You enter a trade, an A+ setup based on your management, your system, and your set of rules. Price either hits take profit or it hits stop loss, and when price reaches a certain point, you move your stop loss to break even in order to secure profits and a risk-free trade. That is it, okay? There is none of this, I'm going to extend my take profit, I'm going to extend my stop loss, I'm going to enter more positions and over risk and over trade. No. I don't care how good you are at trading. If you cannot get your mental state and your psychology right, you will fail. And finally, lesson number 5 is consistent profits in the market is better than having one huge winner. Think of it like this. Think of a sports team that wins 20 games in a row, but then they lose 40 games in a row. And then they win another 30 games in a row, but then they lose another 50 games in a row. At the end of the day, their record is not going to be great. But instead, you have the sports team that maybe wins 5 games in a row and then they lose 2 games in a row. Then they win another 6 games in a row, then maybe they lose another 1 game. Obviously, at the end of the season, that team's record is going to be better than the one who took 20 wins in a row but then loses another 20. It is the same thing in trading. Compounding small winners, compounding good percentageable winners is better than taking one huge trade and then all of a sudden you just lose all that money. What you guys need to do is you need to compound, you need to build, you need to find consistency. Key word is consistency. I cannot stress that enough. If you guys are not finding consistency in your trading, you will fail. Whatever you have to do in order to build consistent profits
you need to do it. I'm telling you, if you take that one big winner, but then you lose another 10 trades in a row that wipe out those entire profits, you are not going to last in this industry. What you need to be doing is taking good percentageable winners that adhere to your account, your rules, your system, your strategy, and help compound and build your account, whether it's a prop firm account or a live account. Okay? I cannot stress enough that taking this one big winner that looks so cool on paper and you just did everything right and blah, 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 and then you lose 10 trades in a row and there goes all your profits. What are you doing? You're never going to last in the game like that. Develop consistent profits that you know are going to compound over time and help build your account and your trading. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got some lessons from somebody who's been through the runner in trading. Man, have I failed so much in trading. And honestly, to make $70,000 in a month after failing for so long in trading, it only makes me want to come on this camera and show you guys these 5 lessons, okay? One thing I will highly recommend to you guys is if you are a beginner trader that cannot seem to just find out what to do, I recommend you guys join a mentorship program. I am not saying that because I want you guys to join mine. Of course, I would love for you guys to be in there with us, but I will say this, whatever trader that you are most comfortable with, it doesn't have to be me. Whatever trader that you are most comfortable with, if you want to go in and join their mentorship, I highly recommend it. Because somebody like me who has been through the run in trading and I figured out how to finally do it and then I applied it to myself and I've been through years of failure, I'm obviously going to be able to give you guys better tips and or advice in my Discord. And that is the same thing for any other profitable full-time trader that shows results and shows proof and shows what they do, etc. So it doesn't even have to be my Discord that you join. I just recommend, okay, look at college. Colleges have professors. People pay to join professor classes so they can learn. Same thing with coaches in sports. Even the best, I don't know, quarterback in football, Patrick Mahomes, he's got a coach by his side. So I recommend you guys join something where you can help accelerate your journey and be next to other like-minded traders. I love you all. I appreciate you all checking out this video. I know you guys are going to succeed, and I hope you guys apply these lessons to your trading. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check all the links below that you can get access to my Discord, my prop firms that I use, and all these things to help save you money. I love you all. God loves you all. Merry Christmas.